Nice, good to be here. Hello, everybody. How are you? Good, that's good. So yeah, I'm Mike. I come from Canada originally. Does that excite you? Oh, slightly. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm from Canada, but I live in London. I live in the UK. Oh, less excited. Look at that. Yeah, I live there legally. You have to say that now. But yeah, I've been living there for a little while. 16 years I've been in London. Can you believe that? Not because I'm doing well, sir. I can't afford to leave. You see, that's the thing. I did a really stupid thing before I moved there 16 years ago. I forgot to come from money. Big error on my part, man. You know what? When I moved over there, right, I did what like most people have to do when you move to like London, is you have to like live in one of those big houses with like loads of other people in it. You know what I mean? Like you have to like share your bedroom with half of Spain. So I had to do that when I moved over. Here's the thing. Now things are going a little better. Right now, I basically live on a boat, and by that I mean my kitchen is flooded and I have scurvy. But yeah, it's rough, man. I had to live in this house. It was actually like a building. I would describe it as a building, but not like the noun building, more of the verb building, as in there's no way they were finished for that building. I was like, one day I want to live in a built. But yeah, man, I was sharing this room with like the house was everybody was living in this house. But the thing is, it was nice because it's quite like diverse, so you kind of like learn a lot. So like we had a lot of diversity there. Like we had both black and white mold in the house. So you know, you learn a lot about different cultures. All right, if one person's gonna clap, you all have to do it, or both of us look stupid. All right, come on. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh, good. That's very exciting. Thank you for having me. But yeah, no, I grew up in Canada with English parents, actually, right? So that was tough because they always had like very English solutions for Canadian problems. Like this one time, I was like, "Mom, I'm cold. Can we turn the heating on?" And she was like, "Son, we are English. We do not turn the heating on. If you're cold, go colonize somewhere hot." Well, that's cold. That is cold, Mom. I know, I like to drink. You guys like to drink? Woo! This lady was like, I like to drink. I like to get fucking drunk. I like to get hammered. I like to drink a lot. You know what I mean? This is the thing, right? Here's the thing. My girlfriend's Greek, right? It's all I could afford. But she... Slow it down. She's a real nice lady. Loves that joke. And, but no, I like to drink, and she's always saying to me, like, "Mike, I don't understand why you have to drink so much. Why drink to excess?" This is my accent, right? Good, huh? And she's like, "I don't know why you drink so. Just have a few drinks. Drink to relax. This is the Greek way. Drink to relax." I'm like, I'm pretty sure blacking out is relaxed. All right, I think that's the most relaxed thing you can do is just pass out in a doorway. Am I right? Thank you. Someone said no, but we buried your no under yeses. Don't apply that logic in your daily life. So, yeah, that's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So English people, like, they have this reputation as being big drunks, and they are, but they never like to admit it. Like, they always like to be, like, really aloof about it. Like, I've got this one friend in London who's a total pisshead, right? Just loves getting drunk, and I call him up once, and I'm like, "Yo, let's go get drunk, bro. Let's drink. Let's have 1,000 beers, and I know you're up for it." And he's like, "Oh, yes, I'll go for a drink." Right? I'm like, "A drink?" But it's a lie. I'm like, "A drink? You're gonna have you are gonna have a drink? It's bullshit. You're gonna have A drink, B drink, C drink, D drink, E drink, F drink, G drink. You're gonna skip H2O. You're gonna go for a P, and then you're gonna finish the whole alphabet until it's time for Z's." That's my cutest joke, okay? So... Just know that. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I feel like as I'm getting older now, like I can't drink. Like every time I have a couple of drinks, I always have to stop and reflect on myself. And by that I mean do cocaine off a mirror. Right? So that's what I have to get down. But no, like honestly, like coke's not even like that's not really like my drug of choice. Like the thing is like smoking weed. I like to smoke weed. Like that's my drug of choice because it really suits my lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm breathing anyway. You know what I mean? Like why not make it awesome? breathing any. And here's the thing with like weed, right? They always say like weed is a gateway drug, but I don't think that's true. I think alcohol is the gateway drug, especially if that gateway is in front of your ex's house. That one goes out to Melinda. So she's also made up. Oh, she's here. Okay. You look good. Nice beard. Yeah. Here's the thing. In the UK, weed is illegal, right? It's still illegal there because they say that as a substance, it's psychoactive. And I always think that's crazy because it stops me being both those things. I can email you that joke if you want more time. I mean, weed's mad. This is the thing, it does screw you up though in your brain. It does make you like, it does kind of mess up your brain a little bit. Don't you think it's kind of like ironic that the drugs that like open the doors of perception also always make you lose your keys? Isn't that wild? Just think about that for a bit. I'll wait. I get paid by the hour. I don't know. Here's the thing, from drinking, right? I've got gout from drinking. Does anyone know what gout is? Do you have gout? Do you know what gout is? Gout? You guys know gout? Here's the thing, gout is a very painful condition that you get in your toe that comes from drinking too much and eating shitty food. It's basically the opposite of athlete's foot, okay? It's gout. Here's the thing they don't tell you about having gout, is that when you have gout, you just cannot stop saying the word gout. Right? I don't know why that is. It's just really fun to say, do you know what I mean? It just makes me think of getting thrown out of a pub in rural Scotland, you know? Gout! I feel like no one knows what gout is, but that's fine. You're learning English. That's good. I don't know. My girlfriend's nice. Like we're like an intercultural relationship. Anyone else in one of those? Yeah, no. Okay, a few of you. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, it's really difficult. Here's the thing. I always find it's like the language barrier is not even the hardest thing. It's the cultural difference. Do you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing, right? So, like I said, she's Greek, right? So she's very, like, I'm Canadian, so I'm very passive-aggressive. But she's Greek, so she's very active-aggressive. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a big difference between us like that. Like, for example, this is how active-aggressive the Greeks are. They have 4 different ways of saying no, if you didn't know that. Like, the first one is the Greek word for no, which is ohi. The second one is they'll just go mb, like that. The third one, and this is all true, the third one is they'll go like this. And then the fourth one is they'll go like that. In Canada, we're passive-aggressive, so we only have one way of saying no, and it's, yeah, maybe. The thing is, like, which is crazy, the Greeks actually do a lot of communicating with their eyebrows, which is weird because God only gave them one. I'm never allowed back in that country. That's fine. No, it's crazy because, like, I'm from North America where everything's really big and dumb and but like functional, and like you go to Southern Europe and everything like looks really good but doesn't work. You know, especially the people. So. Stop it, you guys. But I love, like, drinking cultures, you know what I mean? I love, like, cultural drinking. Like, for example, in Greece, they have this drink called chiparo. Has anyone ever heard of this? Chiparo. Okay, she's from there, clearly. So, you outed yourself. It's chiparo, yeah, they call it chiparo, and they always get mad when I pronounce it cheaparo, but I'm actually just trying to call them cheap. But the chiparo is basically, it's like a really lovely white spirit that you sip with ice while you watch the sun go down. That's the whole culture around it. You sip it with ice while you watch the sun go down. First time I tried that, I was like, damn, this is amazing. I gotta get some of this and bring it back and incorporate it into my life in the UK. And at the time, I was living in Manchester, England, where the sun goes down at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, this is perfect for me, and I can do it the British way, which is in the bath while crying. So, perfect. And then you know what, like you go to Italy, right? I know there's Italians here, but you go to Italy and they've got like what they call the aperitif, right? Which is like something that you sip to get you in the mood to eat later. And that's actually what the Aperol Spritz is. You sip it to get you in the mood to eat. I think it's beautiful. In the England, when you go to England, we have it on draft, and no, we don't serve food here. For British people, aperitif is what's left in their mouth after years of heavy boozing. Thank you. That's nice. Give you a bit of time on that. And then, you've got the digestive, which is like a big thing. So like in Germany, that's what Jägermeister is. Isn't that crazy to find that out? If you live in England, see how people drink Jägermeister, you find out that it's meant like as a digestive, right? So like in Germany, they will sip it to help the food go down, whereas we drink it to help the food come up. Isn't that wild? And then you've got the Jager bomb, right? Which is a British invention. We invented that in Britain, the Jager bomb. Germans don't need to get that drunk because their people are good looking. So, but that's what it is. So I don't know if you know what the Jager bomb is. It's Red Bull and Jägermeister. So it's caffeine, gets you going, and Jägermeister, which makes you crazy. I always think of it as like the Viagra of beverages because it makes you a proper dick for longer. You know what I mean? But it's beautiful, isn't it? Like alcohol and caffeine together, two taxable stimulants. This is why I always say it's like the most capitalist drink, two taxable stimulants that make you want McDonald's. Really beautiful. I don't know, it's cool over here. Here's the thing, I don't have any tattoos, which is weird. People always find that weird about me, that I don't have any tattoos. But here's the thing, I always like, when I was a kid, I always thought it was like tough guys that have tattoos. Do you know what I mean? Like real tough guys had tattoos. But now that I'm older, I realize it takes a real tough guy to have no tattoos and not be afraid to show the world their skin rashes. Okay? That's the thing. I was talking to this one guy, and he was like, yeah, my forearm says indomitable spirit in Japanese. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, my forearm says I can't sleep in eczema. So, pretty slick. But ladies love the tattoos. You toxic straight ladies, you love the tattoos. Love a tattoo on a guy. I'm not asking. You love tattoos on men. Here's the thing. The more big and complicated and complex the tattoo, the more you're like, damn. You just see that big old tattoo and you're like, wow, look at the size of that tattoo. He must be so patient. If he can sit there for that long in an atmosphere of constant pain, he'll have no problem listening to me talk about work. Anyway, I gotta leave you guys in a little bit, but I want to say one last thing. Before I moved, so I grew up in Toronto, and before I moved away, my big dream in life was I wanted to move to London. I wanted to get a hot Mediterranean girlfriend, and I wanted to ride a bicycle down a beautiful cobblestone street, and I can say that I have achieved both those things. But in both cases, it's quite a bumpy ride, and you just end up getting your balls busted. Thank you very much, guys. My name's been Mike Shear. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers!